The coach of CSL side Dalian professional Rafael Benitez talked to Sports Scene's Wang Dong earlier this month, and the Spaniard shared his feelings about being in China for 1 year after leaving Chelsea and his expectations for Dalian in the delayed season.
Chinese Super League club, the Dalian announcing the
former Newcastle manager Rafael Benitez is headed to China.
You're such a world-class coach, and you've been through a lot, actually, ups and downs and so forth. But why here, for you?
Yeah, I understand the question, and then I think it's important what you said. When we came here, the team was 14th in the league. But the project was massive. The project was really good. The way that Mr. Lincoln, when they were talking in different moments, they present the project was a massive training ground, really good facilities for developing the young Chinese players, the Wanda project with the kids. So the club was thinking about to move forward, and they were really happy to keep me on board and then bring more people with me to do a Spanish methodology and a way to do things more in Europe to reduce this gap. And I would say now it's maybe more difficult because the COVID-19 is changing everything.
Right.
But the commitment from players and staff is really good, so hopefully we will see how can we progress and if we can reduce this gap.
Realistically, do they give you any goal for this year, especially under this kind of intense, shall we say, period of Chinese Super League new season? Be honest with me about it.
No, I am honest with you. Always, I try not to say any lie. If I cannot say the truth, I would say nothing. But in this case, I'm telling you the truth. We know that we are growing and you are developing the place. That's it. We are happy with that. We should that they keep growing, and in 2 or 3 years, then we can compete. Obviously, and that's it's my experience. All the presidents, they say the same. After they want to compete in 1 year, not in 3 years. But at the moment, I think it's fine. So. It's very clear that we want to win every game, but we know that we cannot. Then we will try to do our best in every game. And if we are winning, you will say, oh, Rafa was right. If we are not winning, still I have to be right in one thing. We have to keep trying and keep trying. The same thing that I'm telling my players. If you make a mistake, I don't care. Try again. So for us, it has to be the same. If we do well, easier. If not, we have to keep going and keep trying.
But if things are not really to your liking, can you give it a push? Can you push the envelope to make it happen?
If I say we need to change this or we need to change that, I'm telling you, 80% of the things that we are trying to do, they say yes. Then changing the squad, bringing young players, even if it's a risk that the competition will be difficult because you have good teams with great foreigners and great Chinese players that you cannot get at the moment. But still, we have this mentality that we want to create, and then hopefully will be enough to compete and to win games and stay there and building over there. So we try to bring more young players, coach them properly, give them confidence, and hopefully next year they will be a little bit better. And in 2 or 3 years, I am sure this team will be very, very strong, and the fans will be happy with that. We have been 5 months training, and it's very difficult to keep the motivation and everybody doing what they have to do every training session. So for us, it's really good news that we will play football. Then other leagues, it's true that they have started earlier, but okay, it's what we have at the moment, and we'll have to adapt. The main concern for me is that to be sure that the players are fit, are ready, and mentally they can cope with the intensity, because it will be too many games in a short time, and they have to be mentally ready.
As you mentioned, the intensity is right there. Basically, every other day you have a game going on. That's pretty tough schedule.
Yeah, my experience in the Champions League used to be good. It depends how you manage. You can play one game each 3-4 days. If you win, then you are ready. You have a lot of confidence, and then you go for the next one mentally ready, as we said before. If you lose, then you can say, listen, we have an opportunity to change things, so you go ready for the next one.
Overnight, you have to change and adjust, right?
That's it. So you have to be positive and approach the competition in a positive way, and then transmit to your players this mentality too.
So do you think you might have some slight advantage in that sense, because other teams, at least the other 8 teams, will be gathering here, will have to make their trip to be here to get used to the weather and so forth?
Now, if you see the name of the teams and the name of the players, they have players with a lot of experience, and the teams, normally a lot of them, they have been playing even the Champions League. So they have experience in going around, staying in hotels, and then play important games in a few days. So I think it's not a great advantage. And I will say one thing. When we just arrived here, we have the oldest team in the Chinese Super League. Now we have the youngest team in the Chinese Super League. So we were moving some veterans and bringing young players. So all this advantage because we play here or whatever, in the end you have players without too much experience, and then I think it's level playing field in the end. To be sure that you understand the project, the idea is not just to come here for winning every game, is to come here to try to win every game, but at the same time to build something and leave a legacy for Dalian.
As you mentioned, train these youngsters. These are the promises or the promising stars perhaps of China down the line. How much time are you really willing to invest in them?
We don't have any problem. If they are good enough, they can play. It doesn't matter the age. What we have, and I was talking today with some of our veterans, is a group of experienced players that they can help the young players. One of the things that the Chinese football has to do to improve, to compete and to be much better is to be sure that they work together. The veterans, they pass advice to the young players, they help the young players to develop, to progress, and the coaches, in our case, we are not just working with the players, we want to work with coaches and then give them the vision, the way that you do things in Europe is when you are getting better and better, when the young players, they feel supported and then confident.
Confidence.
Because if you make a mistake, sometimes here they are getting smaller and smaller, and no, they have to try, and I am telling them all the time, try again, and I say to the veterans, then you encourage them to try again, because it's the only way that they can improve and they can learn.
What can we do, or what can China do, the club do specifically, or the environment do to really keep you here?
Yeah, at the moment, what I say, I'm really pleased because everything that I try to do to improve what is going on here, Mr. Link or Mr. Gao, they say, okay, we can do this, we can try to do that. The league has to be competitive, the league has to have good players and a good structure and organization to be sure that it's level playing field and everybody try their best, and then you can win something. So I think it's just a question of time. Hopefully this year will be fine, because it's not easy to have all the teams in a hotel for so many days, and hopefully everything will be fine. It will be a transition league, because in the end will be something like that, and the next one will be more normal and everybody can enjoy it with the fans in the stadium. That is the main thing, to feel this atmosphere with the fans in the stadium.
Are there any things that you like most, culture-wise, tradition-wise, whatever? Are there certain things you might detest?
The cousin of my wife, he came to China 30 years ago. He was a good writer, and then he wrote a small book about China, and I was reading the book. Now, obviously, I try to talk and I ask questions and to know about the culture, and it's quite interesting. The problem that, what I said before, when you are playing games, you don't have too much time. The other day I was in Beijing, in the Forbidden City. We have a restaurant, I could watch the city, and it's nice. So this part of the culture for me is really nice. All these kind of things, I like to learn these things, but obviously you need someone with you all the time. You need a translator, because you talk with people and you don't understand anything. Even when you do the gestures with the hands, it's different. I remember at the beginning asking for a small ice cream, and they bring me a big one. So I say, no, it's small, but so then you have to adapt to a different culture. But it's very, very interesting, and still it's too early for me. Can I learn Chinese? I don't think so. Can I learn some words?
That's in French, right?
Little that I will need to use poquito a poco. Then maybe, but obviously I will need some time and a good translator that I have already one.
Rafa, due to time difference, I know you've very, very busy man here, and the new season is around the corner. We want to thank you so much for your time
Thanks to
and
you.
input, really, and I'm sure our audience are just thrilled to listen to all the things you have given us, really, and wish you have a great, great run in China.
Thank you very much. 谢谢.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Thank you.